Hi, I'm Z for episode 1. This time I will take with Blake Dahlia, which is Ball State bowler and backboard head coach for my first time bowling. I can't wait. Here is Blake.
Well, and Z, I can't wait either. And personally, I'm excited to teach you how to bowl for the first time and give you your first ever losing experience.
Oh.
Let's hit the lanes.
Really? Yeah. Let's do it.
When I think about you and my heart starts to warm, it's like a bomb. When I dream about you, I just wanted them to stop, not wake up. Get up on your feet up. Get up on your feet up. We can dance. We can dance. Get up on your feet up. Get up on your feet up.
So you have to have special bowling shoes. If you don't have those, then you're going to attract water, dirt, and debris all up on the lanes, and then that's going to make people fall down and get hurt. So it's just a safety reason.
Out of control.
So hey Blake, what's the rule for playing a volleyball game?
1 second here.
Yeah.
I gotta put my name in here.
What's this machine?
These are the scoring machines. So the rules to bowling are you have 2 shots to knock down all 10 pins. If you do it the first time, it's called a strike, and you get 10 plus the next 2 balls you throw add into that frame. If you get say you get a 9 count, which would be 9 of the 10 pins, then you pick it up, that's called a spare. So if you get them on 2 shots, then that's called a spare. If you get all the pins on 1 shot, it's called a strike. If you don't do either of those, that's called an open frame.
Yeah, gotcha. Let's have a try.
All right, let's do it. So I'm up on lane 14. And you are up on lane 15. There's our scores up there. Locked to zeros. This is called the first frame. That wasn't a very good shot.
3 left. So can you tell me how to roll the bowling ball correctly?
So how you want to bowl the ball is you want to have your middle finger and your ring finger in the first 2 holes, okay? And then you're going to want to put your thumb in the ball after that. So this is how you're going to hold the ball, and then you're going to go up here. And you just want me to throw it?
Yes. Please.
Okay. So we're going to stand on the middle dot.
Yes. Which is the middle dot?
This one right here.
Oh.
So we're going to stand on the middle dot. We're going to put it here. And you're just going to go. Whoa. You're not going to fall down, but you're going to roll it down the lane.
Gotcha. Whoa. It's heavy. How to grab this? Like this?
Use your middle finger and your ring finger.
These 2 fingers?
These 2. Yeah, the middle 2. There you go.
Just roll down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Have a try.
Hey, 9 is not bad for the first time.
So this time, can you show me how to do rolling the balls in 2 hands?
So two-handed is a unique style that a lot of players on tour and in college have developed the last couple of years. I have one of those. So instead, you'd think normally, like I said earlier, you put your thumb in the ball and your 2 fingers. Well, as you can see, no thumb hole there.
Yeah.
So I just put my 2 fingers in, cup my hand, put another hand on top, and I'm good to go. The release and everything are the exact same, so then I just bowl no different than really anybody else.
Wow. Amazing.
9 count.
After my first extremely lucky try, I began struggling even how to throw the ball onto the lane.
Now I only have 2 things left, so guess can I try to eliminate all of them one time? Now we switch to Blake's turn.
That was a frustrating shot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I gotta pick up this spare. I gotta run it down.
Wow, bravo. One of the most impressive things I've in my mind is I think the shoes is really very slippery, and it makes me hard to make some very professional gestures, even for my first time playing. So now I have a try. But it's always failed every time.
So Z, one mistake we're gonna fix here the first time around is you threw the ball all the way back here. But what you wanna do is you wanna come all the way up to this line right here. It's called the foul line. And if you cross it, then your shot's not gonna count. And you're also gonna fall on your rear end out here because it's really slippery. So you're gonna wanna come up to the line, and when you get to the line, you're gonna wanna throw it right over there, let it go, and hopefully knock down all 10 pins. One lonely pin standing.
Honestly, when I failed almost every time I try to go the bowling, I think it's really harder than I thought. Okay.
All right, give it another shot here.
So let's try.
So funny enough that you actually asked me about injuries in bowling. It's very uncommon. It's a very safe sport. But that said, it does happen, whether it be an overuse injury or something more severe. I've seen everything happen. One common thing is sprains of the fingers. I've left tournaments before with my fingers bleeding before because I've bowled just so much all day long.
Really bleeding.
Bleeding, yep. So I've bled before. I've seen people go to the foul line and I've seen them land on their foot and twist their ankle.
Yes.
Or I've seen people tear ligaments in their knees before. Or maybe one of the most rare injuries in bowling that's happened to me before has been a concussion. I had a traumatic brain injury while bowling.
Wow.
I got hit in the head with a bowling ball. So I've seen it all. It is possible. It's a very safe sport. But that said, injuries do happen. Now gradually he is getting on track here. Just got a spare. Had a little tough 6th frame double gutter. But see what he's got here running down this spare. Frame number 7. Come on, he says, misses wide to the left.
Almost.
Almost. Come on, ball.
Yeah, so for my game 1, I really get a point 56, and for Blake, he got a 184.
That is not good for Blake Dollier. That's not what I was hoping for.
Oh.
Okay, so my college career, I wouldn't say was as successful, maybe as my high school career. I was very okay at it. You know, I wouldn't say I was a bad bowler, but I definitely wasn't like one of the top in the country by any means. But I had a very decent career. I had several top 25 finishes among, 200, 300, 400 bowlers, which was cool to be in that, I guess conversation of top 25 at certain tournaments with dozens of schools. That was fun. I know one time in Michigan, I got 12th place after an incredibly long weekend, went and bowled and got 12th, and that was pretty special there. But, overall, I can say at the end of the day that we made postseason my freshman year. I got to travel all over the country to bowl, and it's really been a blessing, like, to be able to have said that I've done all these things. And now, with that said, it led me to become a high school coach and be able to pass that knowledge on to other bowlers, which was really meaningful to me. And, part of the reason I coach now is because I was motivated by guys like Coach Killingbeck and my new coach, Coach Reifstack, and those guys in high school. They just I mean, as bad of a situation as it was, to have guys like that motivate me as a player was what motivated me even more as a coach. And so I owe a huge thank you to Coach Killingbeck, the late Coach K, Tom Reifsteck, Chris Reifsteck, all the guys along the way that have coached me and got me to where I am. I just, I couldn't say anything more than thank you. It's changed my life having them as coaches.
Yeah, you're very lucky to have those very great coach to lead you, to teach you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I wouldn't have a college career. I wouldn't have a college career without him. So,
yeah, sure.
That's I owe him for that too.
From a rookie player to the coach in the high school, what do you think of that?
Well,
That's easy.
I mean, if you saw me bowl my
Yeah.
first ever time, you would not think it's me compared to what you've seen today or, any bowling I do now. I mean, it was, if I'm to be honest with you, it was pretty garbage. It was terrible. Like I said, the first time I ever bowled, it was, well, how do I say it other than garbage? It was not pretty by any means. I could barely get the ball down the lane. I couldn't keep it out of the gutters. And it was just, I mean, for lack of a better term, it was a dumpster fire. It was so bad. And well, now, I mean, my journey, it's just, looking back on it, I just can't even comprehend sometimes that it's all happened 6 years later. I started as a freshman in high school after I quit the basketball team 2 weeks before the season. And so after that, my career, got a lot better. And, my average improved steadily over the years. My senior year, I averaged 207. And, compared to my freshman year where I could barely break 100, I'd say that's some, fairly decent improvement over the course of 4 years.
Yeah, that's cool. And let's talk about some very deep side of this sport. So in my country, bowling is one of those sports that was popular maybe 20 years ago. And even in America, lots of people would also say bowling is a dying sport. So what's your thought about those feelings, those comments?
Well, I mean, I would say there is some truth to the fact that it has unfortunately been a dying sport. And a lot of that had to do with when it was taken off the national news and sports networks. When they took that off, then it was like, yeah, it is dying because it became something people didn't watch anymore. People didn't want to watch it anymore. And it was replaced by baseball because back in the day, baseball was second to bowling in rankings, believe it or not.
Really?
And so it was like, wow, that's awesome. But now we don't have that anymore. So, yeah, to an extent, I wouldn't lie to you. There is some truth to that. But where I've seen growth is in the sport of bowling, and I say sport because it is a sport and nothing but, where I have seen growth is just where different technologies, different companies have evolved, created a lot of jobs actually here in the United States at bowling ball factories, in Utah and Michigan specifically. So, I mean, there's been a lot of job growth and positive things that have come on like the economic side of bowling, but also, there's also been a lot of positive things in youth bowling. And, maybe it's a sport for seniors or for old people or whatever you want to say. But at the end of the day, it's slowly starting to, I think, gain a little bit of traction to making a comeback. And I sure as heck hope it does.
What's the intriguing part of
the
sport?
intriguing part about the sport is I think people don't realize how hard it actually is to do it.
Yes.
When you're out there and you're breaking a sweat, and I've literally bowled tournaments where I've come back with bloody fingers. I mean, you can't tell me that's not a sport, putting your blood, sweat, and tears quite literally into the sport. I've done each one of those things. So it's like, I think that's the most intriguing part is that people just don't realize how much physical activity is involved with it, how much stamina you need to have to be able to keep up, and quite honestly, how bad you hurt several days after you bowl sometimes.
Yeah. So, and here is last a little bit dumb questions. What do you think of this time I play the bowling ball?
Honestly, I think you did a great job for your first time. I
appreciate
talk
it.
a lot of trash, but that's just because I'm competitive and you know that. So,
Yeah, I know that.
my trash talk, all things aside, you did a great job
Yeah.
for your first time. I mean, you improved every single game, and if it were talking to my bowling team at Blackford, I'd be like, yes, that's what we need. Is we never want to have a game that was worse than a game we had before. We always want to improve. We always want to do better, and you did that today, so that was good.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. And you helped me to introduce this sport and some intriguing part of this sport, and I even tried my first time playing bowling balls, and thank you for that.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you for letting me do this. I don't get to bowl that often
Yeah.
anymore, so
Yeah.
it was great. And breaking 70 on this third round, so it's come quite a long way, and unfortunately for me, can't say the same, but that's okay because we're here to teach Z today. I'll get better some other time, that's all right.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.